What up? It's your boy T-Burn Reaction. Today is movie and music Monday. This is music half. So I haven't come across this on my timeline, and something I wanted to check out as well too. I was on this husband and wife duo, or it's a male and female duo of producers or music makers as well too. Hold on a second. I'm back. So yeah, anyway, I know they were a male female duo or a husband and wife duo, whatever, called Dissecting Music. And they are looking they do is dissect old school theme songs in their own way. So I was checking this out. The first one that came to mind firstly was the one for Night Rise. I want to check this out first. See they say is a way they can recreate it in their own little way as well too, using stock. And it looks like using stock sounds from Logic Pro. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how this goes. If they got some, if it's something I'm going to check out, I'm going to keep on checking out going forward. I'm going to check out some other videos in order of what's released. But other than that, let's get it. Because this is the one that came on timeline first. I wanted to check it out. So let's get it.
The actual instrument is typical of the 80s.
If a synth was ever going to wake you up, I feel threatened.
Okay.
There's a build up there. Go.
Hello and welcome to season 2 of Dissect the Music. My name's NK Soul.
And my name's Roxy.
This is the show where we break down music we grew up loving. The music can come from anywhere. It can come from a TV show. It can come from the charts. What we are dissecting this season is TV shows that we grew up loving. And we are starting with an absolute classic. Which song are we dissecting
first of
today?
the new season.
The show we're dissecting today came out in the UK in early 1983. The show features a man called Michael, who actually had his name changed by a scientist who saved his life after a serious injury that really should have unalived him, and his AI, indestructible Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, whose name is actually an acronym for Knight Industries 2000. Their job was to fight crime and bring about justice. The show's theme song was brought to us by Stu Phillips. Stu was born in 1929 and is an accomplished musician who started out in the record business with his own label, Colpix Records, producing music for Nina Simone and the Monkees, to name a couple, whilst releasing his own tracks, but moved into film and television because, frankly, the contracts in the music industry just weren't that great. By the time this show came out, Stu had already developed a really strong relationship with the show's producer, Glenn Larson. As a result, Stu went on to produce theme songs for all of Glenn's shows, including Quincy, The $6 Million Man, Battlestar Galactica, and The Fall Guy. And just to demonstrate how impactful this show was, in 2021, the show's main character, played by David Hasselhoff, auctioned off a replica version of his super scientific sidekick for $300,000, or about £230,000. Anyway, here at Dissect, we're all about the music. So, today, we are dissecting Knight Rider.
If you remember that theme was so iconic, and reason why the joint on fire by Busta Rhymes was my favorite joint on it because of that song. Let's get it.
Come on, Knight Rider, let's go.
Iconic right there.
Knight Rider.
Wow.
Absolute classic.
Wow,
Absolute
wow,
classic.
wow. So what memories does that trigger for you?
This was Saturday evening,
yeah.
primetime television, a time before the internet and Roblox and Netflix and other things that everyone can watch different things.
Once I gotta check some real quick. I'm back, let's get it.
This was a time where everyone came together and watched primetime television, and this was the show that everyone watched, from what I remember. That theme song got you ready for the show.
Same as you. This was big time Saturday afternoon, towards the evening. You know, all the other shows are about to come on, your Blind Dates and your Gladiators and all that sort of thing. That's all about to come on. At this time, my mum's usually in the kitchen. Me and my siblings in the
living room. They probably talking about shows that was where they at in the UK, so yeah.
It was a minute and a half of sheer boogie. This song has been sampled about 50 plus times. So Solid had a go.
If you lost it,
Busta Rhymes obviously
Busta
had a
Rhymes
classic with
worse.
it.
Yes.
Crazy Frog's got a version.
Oh,
Crazy
Lord.
Frog. Yeah.
So it's like a reggaeton kind of vibe.
I remember that.
Where I can't downplay Crazy Frog, but at the same time, sometimes it's cringe.
Sierra actually takes a bit of the melody in her song Echo.
Oh.
System of a Down.
Yup. Wow.
And Timbaland and Magoo had a version.
Oh,
Yes.
yup. Boss Strike remix, yup.
I think that's my favourite,
Yes.
Timbaland and Magoo.
This show really does bring back some really, really amazing memories.
So listening to it, obviously there are a load of elements in there.
At least 5 significant parts. Synths, the guitars, the bass
Yeah.
line, the drums, and then the melody. I'm actually going to have a
the
go
synth is the top
at
one.
playing some of these elements in, work through the song as it progresses. I've tried my best to find some of these sounds in Logic.
First
So
of all,
I
let's see what
found
equipment they got.
myself a tweed plucked synth I'm going to use to try and recreate that iconic melody in the beginning. I've already done a little bit of maths. I've clocked that the BPM on this is 115.
Okay.
It's going to take a lot of fingering. Pause. I'll have a go at recording it in so that we can get a picture at the end and see how close I was to the original in terms of the sounds themselves. We listen, we don't judge.
Let's
go.
Okay. She cool the hands.
Well done.
Well done.
The fact that you
Definitely.
managed to do that on your first take
Yes.
with that BPM, then that's
That's what everybody ate. First take, man. You got to taste you got to take, man.
That's what, do you
That's
reckon they
pretty awesome.
used a keyboard in the real
Well, this
song?
is it. Like, I feel like it would be a lot easier on the guitar.
On the guitar.
But I'm pretty sure there are many people out there that have recreated this theme song and used keyboards.
Yeah,
Of course,
Yeah.
because
You get
that's
4 bars
electronic sound.
of that melody, and then the bass kicks in. And I love the bass because it's simple, it's deliberate, it's just 2 notes. So Stu Phillips is actually quoted as saying that he's done that intentionally. He wanted to make this song as simple as possible.
Yeah, that was conceived that way purposely so that I would have little snippets from the theme to be able to use, which would make my making deadlines and trying to compose music in
okay.
3 days or something a lot easier, because I would have things, little motifs to go to.
He's gone in with this really simple bass line that has actually gone on to make him loads and loads of money. We were talking about samples earlier. He says that
Money on those bass lines from rap groups who just take the bass line. They don't take anything else. And I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, guys, thanks, guys. I'll take the money.
exactly
Amazing. Less is more. What's the next
Less is
element you
more.
want to add on?
a dance floor bass.
Yep.
Thank you, Logic. Again, recreating the bass line, recording it in, and hopefully it sounds similar to the original.
Ooh.
Iconic.
Right?
Iconic. So simple. 2 notes,
Literally.
but iconic. Imagine becoming a multi-millionaire off 2 notes.
If it's that simple, won't we all do it? So the bass actually does something interesting. We've been commenting that it's 2 notes. He progresses into the tone up just for a moment. And I feel like that just added... that's right. So let me try and put that in.
Yeah.
Roxy.
Right.
It's coming together
It's,
nicely.
it's building up. We're getting there. We're warming up, guys. At this point, the drums are about to kick in. And I'm going to be honest, the complexity in the drum kit, I'm not even going to try and bore everybody to try and figure that out. So what I've done is I've taken the original drums,
Okay.
just to see how all of the components I've put in so far,
okay.
how they would fit in
Right.
the end. So this,
Sometimes you gotta do it, man. Just get the original drum. Don't even try. Sometimes, like trying to make it sound like it is tough. That's why a lot of hip hop, they want that same drum as the original, so they'll just sample the drum. Either they gotta stem it or whatever, do whatever. Yeah, it's best to do that.
this is the original drum kit. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, it'd be too hard. It'd be too hard to try to do that as your own original. Let's be honest. I don't care what anybody say, man. I don't care if you call it stealing, whatever. It's hard to do, man. You want to recreate it, man. Just leave it as is, man. It ain't broke, don't fix it.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So that hi-hat release.
Ooh, it's so complex. There's so many offbeats
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
on the onbeat.
right,
There's
right.
a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. And even towards the end there was some new elements of drums coming in there. It was...
Yeah, got the hi-hat release, and then you've got like a random rim shot
Yeah.
that happens on the offbeat. Again, it's just adding that extra layer of texture and color, but the rhythm and the vibe, with all the elements on top of it, you can actually miss that, but it's adding an extra groove without you even realizing.
The beauty of dissecting. So when you listen to it individually, then you can catch all these little bits and appreciate it.
Exactly.
So you've got that plucked guitar, you've got the bass, you've got the drums.
Right, so we get the synths now. So this adds the warmth. The actual instrument is typical of the 80s. And the 80s love this sort of electronic kind of vibe that it's like it's supposed to sound futuristic, which is perfect for this show where you've got the talking car.
It's just that my circuits function better when we
Mr.
operate in
Phoenix!
reality mode.
AI is already at play.
Very good point. Good
Right?
point. Yeah.
So the sounds themselves actually speak to the fact that we're moving into a brand new era. So the synth sounds, like I say, they provide warmth, but they also colour in a really futuristic way. Gone in to Logic and found a synth, and it's called
Logic,
80s
okay.
Fuzzy Synth. Doing my best to try and see if this is as similar sounding as possible.
Yup. Close enough.
If a synth was ever going to wake you up,
You got that right. You
It
got
does
that right.
something really interesting.
It's-
At
woo!
this point, the melody is coming in. We'll get to that. The time signature changes when that happens. So just like he does with Battlestar Galactica, he kind of does this 4/4 into 2/4. He dances around with the time signature a bit.
Aye, we're going to have to come back to it later on. I got stuff to do.